No pressure.
No pressure now.
Your name is?
Clemency Burton-Hill.
Your chosen charity?
The Choir of London Trust.
And your specialist subject?
Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey in 90 seconds. Which Oscar-winning writer created Downton Abbey?
Julian Fellowes.
Yes, in the opening episode, the Earl of Grantham reads in the newspapers of a major disaster that has far-reaching consequences for his family. What is the disaster?
The sinking of the Titanic.
Yes, what is the full name of the solicitor from Manchester who, as a distant cousin of the Earl, becomes the heir to the Downton estate?
Matthew Crawley.
Yes. Who is the cook at the Abbey? Her failing eyesight causes a problem for dinner guests when she sprinkles salt rather than sugar over the raspberry meringue.
Mrs. Patmore.
Yep. Which house and estate does the newspaper proprietor Sir Richard Carlisle buy to live in with Lady Mary once they're married?
Haxby Park.
Yes. What is the name of the Turkish attaché whose death in Lady Mary's bedroom threatens to cause a scandal?
Kamal Pamuk.
Correct. In the first episode, what modern convenience does the Dowager Countess say that she could not have in her house, or she wouldn't sleep a wink?
Electricity.
Yes, Lady Sybil becomes an auxiliary nurse during the First World War. In which city does she do her training course?
York.
Yes, Mr. Bates is imprisoned for poisoning his first wife. What was her name?
Vera.
Yep. After his fight with Matthew, Sir Richard Carlisle tells the Dowager Countess that he is leaving and doubts they will meet again. What is her tart reply?
Do you promise?
Yes. While Mr. Bates is not working at Downton, which other member of staff tries to get closer to Anna, giving her a book and hoping to discuss their views on it together? She eventually tells him that her feelings are still too strong for Bates.
Mosley.
Yes. Who plays Cora's brash American mother, Martha Levinson, who visits Downton for the wedding of Lady Mary to Matthew Crawley?
Shirley MacLaine.
Correct. And you got them all right as well. And you have 12 points. And our next contender is with 5 points, Michael Obiara. Second place, 11 points apiece, are Steve Punt and John Hammond. In the lead, 12 points, Clemency Burton-Hill. So it's to Clemency again, please. I'm not quite sure how to describe, because I mean, you're a violinist, you're a musician, you're a presenter, you do all sorts of stuff, and you seem to be rather good at all of it. What made you want to play the violin so badly when you were little? Because normally it's the parent saying to the child, you must play the violin or something.
Such a weirdo. I mean, such a little freak. Clearly my mum was like, what on earth does this mean? Because she, by her own admission, is tone deaf. My two older half-brothers who I grew up with, neither of them ever learnt an instrument. So who knows what it was? It was a great mystery.
And you did the Suzuki Method.
Yeah, I was incredibly lucky. I mean, my mum heard about this organisation and had rung, endless motorcycle dealerships, and then she was sort of about to give up and say, right, that's it.
Hang on, she had rang endless motorcycles.
Well, someone had said there's this thing called Suzuki. She looked it up in the phone book. Endless motorcycle dealerships. She was thinking, this is clearly a run to nothing. And then got through to this absolutely magical woman called Helen Brunner, who really totally changed my life. And Helen's philosophy is just that, you learn when you're very young, because it's like a language, and music is like a language. And, if you learn it when you're little and you're learning how to speak and how to communicate with people, then music will be part of your life, all your life.
And did you ever see yourself as the great soloist on the...
Oh, goodness, no. No, I mean, and I always was interested in other things.
There you go. Now, you won the first round, you got 12 points. Now you've got to do rather well. Well, it's 28. Still the score to beat. Big score. Let's see if you can do it. Here we go. Mayfair and Park Lane are the most expensive properties in the standard British version of which board game?
Monopoly.
Yes, in which Italian city is Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet principally set?
Verona.
Yep. Whom did Barack Obama beat in November 2012 to win a second term as the American president?
Mitt Romney.
Yes, with which boy band did Justin Timberlake begin his career before going solo in 2002?
NSYNC.
Yes, according to a poem, what does the children's writer Rose Fowlman have at the bottom of her garden?
Don't know.
Tom Cruise and John Travolta are two of the most famous members of which controversial movement?
Scientology.
Yes, in the Tour de France, what colour jersey is awarded to the overall leader of the race?
Yellow.
Yes, which composes 5 Oscars, included the film scores for Born Free, Dances with Wolves and Out of Africa. He also wrote the title songs for several Bond films.
John Barry.
Yes, what name was given to the dress designed by Coco Chanel and launched in 1926 that became a staple in women's fashion?
Don't know.
In which television comedy series written by Richard Curtis do the parishioners worship at St. Barnabas's Church?
Rev.
The Vicar of Dibley, the so-called mud pie dessert made principally with chocolate, is named after which American river?
Mississippi.
Yes, in what parliamentary role did John Bercow succeed Michael Martin in 2009?
Speaker of the House of Commons.
Yes, which capital city is the largest in Africa with an estimated urban population of 10 million?
Nairobi.
Cairo. In which opera by Puccini does the Japanese heroine marry Lieutenant Pinkerton?
Madame Butterfly.
Yes, what name is given to wallpaper that has a raised velvety pattern produced by applying fibres of wool?
Don't know.
Michael Gambon, Christian Scott Thomas, Maggie Smith and Helen Mirren are among the cast members of which 2001 murder mystery film set in an English country house in 1932?
Pass.
Which rock star married the model Jerry Hall and had children called Elizabeth, James, Georgia and Gabriel?
Mick Jagger.
Yes, which tragic heroine created by Tolstoy is played in a 2012 film by Keira Knightley?
Anna Karenina.
Yes, the Theatre Awards for the best plays and musicals on Broadway, instituted in 1947 and known by what name?
The Tonys.
The Tonys, that is correct. You had 4 passes. Gosford Park, as you now know, was the name of that film with Michael Gambon, etc. Flock is the name of the wallpaper. Little Back Dress, the LBD. And at the bottom of Rose Falman's garden were fairies. Didn't quite make it, Clemency. 25 points. Well, he held on. Points. Michael Obiara, 3rd place, 23 points. John Hammond, 2nd place, 25 points. Clemency Burton-Hill, 1st place, 28 points. Steve Punt.